Sit before your client and bring your hands in front of your chest. Calm your mind and prepare yourself to work energetically with the massage for the next hour. Center yourself and then slowly rub your hands till warm before you grab below the heels, lift the legs and shake the body. Now place your hands on either foot and start to palm press, swinging from side to side, following the rhythm of your body. Alternating, you start walking up along the calf, avoiding the bone, still moving with body weight, walking up the legs. When you reach the knees, circle both kneecaps clockwise. Fingertips out, continuing up along the thighs, one by one, making sure that your knees stay in the starting position so you come in with body pressure only. Coming to the groin, stop for a second or two and walk slowly back exactly the same way as you came up. Circling on the kneecaps and palm pressing down the calves. Palm pressing the feet. We have 3 points following each toe below the feet. First is just before the heel, second is in between number 1 and number 3, and number 3 is just before the knuckle of the toe. So look, the first point, the second in the middle, the third just before the knuckle. Now placing both thumbs on the first point just before the heel, simultaneously on both feet, pressure, moving to the second point of the first toe, third, circle the knuckle and pull the toe. Coming back, placing both your thumb on point number 1 for the second foot, going to the second point, to the third. Circle the knuckle and pull the toe. Coming back to the first point, second, third. Circling the knuckle, pulling the toe. And again coming back to the first point of the fourth toe, second and third. Circling the knuckle and pulling the toe. Coming back to the first point, second and third. Circle the knuckle and pull the toe. Returning to palm press, and while palm pressing, moving your knees up so you sit in between their legs. Bring the feet to your thigh and finding the temple point. The temple point is where the foot and the leg meet. You'll find a little gap. Placing your thumb, moving forward so you dig your thumb into that gap, the temple point. From there you're gonna massage with the heel of your thumb all the way down the metatarsals of the foot, following the bone for the pinky, coming back, following the bone for the second, third, fourth and fifth toe. When reaching the toes, you pull gently, coming back, circling down the fifth bone for the fifth toe, circling the knuckle and pulling the toe, and then returning to palm press. And we're going to work on 3 points on the inside of the feet. First point is on the very center on the top of the heel. Second, following the bone that arches toward the big toe. In the middle is the second point. The third point is where the bone and the toe meet. Returning to palm press. Now you're going to choose a leg. On the females, you'll choose your left leg. So you bend out the leg, placing the heel close to the opposite knee, sitting in a diamond position, resting their knee on your thigh, placing one hand on the groin and one on the heel, starting to walk up toward the knee. Coming to the knee, you're going to join both your hands into the coconut. 1 pressure, 2, 3, coming back, 2, and 1. From here you're going to open their leg and fall back into the mermaid position, stretching your outside leg, placing it on the inside of their thigh. Push your leg straight, lock your knee and pull their foot. 1, moving to the second point, stretch, lock, pull. Moving to the third point, stretch, lock, pull. Coming back, placing both your feet below their thigh, walking for relaxation and locking their leg across both your shins, moving out and up, bending in, and then massaging all around their thigh, using your toes as well as your hands. Chop a bit for relaxation before you bring the leg to an upright position, sitting in the diamond position with their leg locked in between yours. Placing both your fingertips on the calf, leaning back, opening up the calf as you're going further down to point number 2, number 3, coming back, number 2, and number 1. Continuing into the mini coconut, circling the muscle and leaning into the muscle so you press it forward. Separating the muscle from the bone, point number 2, point number 3. Coming back, 2, and 1. Shaking the calf for relaxation. And then placing your outside hand on the knee, pushing the leg forward, bringing your right foot up into the knight's position, holding the knee and opposite leg, moving forward. 1. Moving your left hand a bit down. And again a bit further. 1, 2, 3. Changing hands, placing your outside hand below the thigh and pressing forward, point 1. Further down the thigh, point 2. And point 3. And again changing your hands, opening up the leg to the side. You might want to move your foot a tiny bit out so you create space for the movement. First point, opening the leg, moving towards the shoulder. Second point, and again third point. Coming back to the neutral position. Changing your knight's position and placing your one hand on the inside of the thigh and the other on the heel. Stretching up with the up hand, stretching down with the down hand. So we create length and an opening through the hamstrings. 1, 2, 3 points. You're gonna throw the leg to catch it with your shin bone, placing your right hand on the lower back, your upper hand on the shoulder, pulling and opening through from the entire spine. 1, 2, 3, and gently rub the lower back. Before coming back to the final stretch of the first leg, and it's performed by holding the heel, placing their toe in your forearm, Your other hand supports the thigh, creating length and space and moving into the full stretch. Feel the body, feel the calf, so we're not overstretching. 1, 2, 3, 2 and 1. Shake the leg and place it back on the mat. From here, we're gonna change the leg, so move all around to the other side. Take a hold of the knee and place the heel by their opposite knee. Sit in diamond position and catch their leg, starting with one hand on the heel and the other in the groin, walking, alternating one by one toward the knee. When you reach to the knee, join both your hands in the coconut and move on the thigh 1 point, 2, 3, coming back, 2 and 1, and again walking apart before you slowly fall into the mermaid position. So grab their leg, open it up and sit into the mermaid. Stretching your outside leg to be placed on the inside of the thigh. Stretch, lock, push and pull. Stretch, lock, push and pull. 1, 2, 3. Then placing both your feet on the inside of their thigh, walking for relaxation before you bend their leg across both your shin bones, moving out and up, leaning in, massaging their full thigh with both your feet and your hands, and hit for relaxation. Placing their foot on the floor, bringing the leg to an upright position, locking it in between your thighs. Taking a hold of the calf with your fingertips, leaning back and separating the calf as you pull yourself up. First point, second point, moving further down to the third point, coming back to the second point, and to the first, before you come in to the mini coconut, grabbing the muscle, circling and pushing it straight forward down, moving further down for the second point, separating the muscle from the bone. To point number 3, circle the muscle and push it away from the bone, coming back, 2 and 1. Pushing their leg up, placing their foot in your groin, holding the knee, opposite hand on the thigh, moving forward, 1, 2, 3, hands on their thigh, moves down, change, place your hand on the inside thigh and move forward, 1, 2 and 3. And again changing the hands, opening the leg. You might want to step your foot out so you create space for the movement to happen. And again moving out and up. Second point, out toward the shoulder and coming back to the center before you place your hand on the third point, moving out and up. Changing your knight's position. Placing one hand on the heel and the other hand on the inside of the thigh, pressing the down hand down and back and the up hand forward up, so we open up and give a good stretch into the hamstrings. 1, 2, 3, and then you throw their leg to be caught by your shin bone, placing your one hand on the lower back and the other on the shoulder, and pulling a nice and soft stretch through the entire spine. 1, 2, and 3 times. And just massage gently on the lower back before you return to the last stretch of the second leg. So grab the heel, place that toe in your forearm, support the thigh with your other hand as you move back to create a nice stretch with the calf, moving down the thigh, 1, 2, 3, coming back, 2, and 1. Shake the leg very lightly and place it back onto the mat. Grab both the heels and lift the legs up and gently push them forward 3 times. Now step into the back of the legs and bend the one leg down across the other thigh and sit into your nice position, holding on to the foot and other hand on the inside of the thigh. Pressing forward with the foot that's placed on your shoulder. 1, 2, and 3. Changing the leg, bending the other leg in, sitting in the nice position and placing the hand on the sit bone, the other hand on the foot, and there, straight leg, heel on your shoulder. Your shoulder is moving forward as you stretch the leg. 1, 2, and 3. Open up the legs. And place both your knees on their sit bones and press their heels forward up. One, 2, and 3. Stepping your feet open, sit back on the little chair, lift their lower back with your hands below their calves, shake for relaxation, and again stretch the leg, shake them lightly, and place them very slowly back to the mat. Palm press the feet, swinging from side to side, moving with body weight. And from here, palm press up the legs, exactly like we did in the very beginning. Moving up and sit next to their stomach. You can sit either in the farmer's position or in the diamond position, placing your hand onto their stomach, and with a very light pressure you move your hand clockwise. Make sure you cover the full stomach before we get ready to find the points. The points that we are working at is 1 thumb distance from the navel. Now working onto the point, it's important you follow their out breath. So when they exhale, you go in, placing your one hand, using that as a tool, and using the other hand on top of that. And then on the exhale, going into the point. Number 2, number 3. It's very important that you feel and go very, very slow here. Number 4. Exhale. Number 5. Coming out of the point on the inhalation. Exhale, going in. coming out. To the last point. And coming out. Again placing your palm on the stomach with light pressure, circle clockwise. We have 3 double points, starting one thumb out from the navel area, and again here going in on the exhalation, moving one thumb down, so it's one thumb out from the navel, one thumb down and one thumb out, going in. Again returning to the palm press of the stomach. Slowly moving your hands to the collarbones, placing your fingers and massage deep down below the collarbones from close to the sternum, moving out to the shoulders. Moving your hands a tiny bit down the chest, and again massaging from the breastbone and out. Grabbing the full chest and squeezing one in the other direction and into the center before you come back and place both your palms onto their shoulders with full body weight, adding pressure for around 10 seconds. Gonna work on the one arm, so create full length, place your one hand on the shoulder and the other hand on their hand before you start to palm press the full arm. Working the crab walk, so placing your first thumb close to the hand and the second one thumb up along the forearm, moving your fingers coming up. 4, the 5th is just a tiny bit down before we move to the 6th point, taking over. 7, 8, 9 in the very armpit, and 10 below the pec. And again returning to the palm press. Placing their arm down along the body, giving a stretch into the arm again by placing one hand on the shoulder and the other on the hand before you start to palm press the outside of the arm. Placing your thumb in the temple point where the arm and the hand meets, first point, placing your other thumb on the second point, taking over with the first and going up. This line is straightforward from the hand to the shoulder. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Returning to palm press. Shake the arm and realign the shoulder before you sit back. The tailor's position, open their palm, dig 2 fingers in, the other hand 2 fingers in, open the palm and start to slide from the root of each finger toward the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing your thumbs on the first point for the pinky and for the thumb, moving down to the second and to the third just before the knuckle, coming back. The 2 next points with the 2 next fingers, 1, 2, and 3. Coming back, thumb on thumb, first point for the last finger, second, and third. returning to sliding. Opening the palm before you turn it around. Placing your thumbs on the temple point and circle out along the bones for the thumb and the pinky. Coming back, thumb on temple, circling down for the next two fingers, and again thumb on temple, circling down for the last finger. Now placing your thumbs on the inside of the hand, by the root of the fingers we start to slide all the way through the full length of the fingers, giving a stretch into all the fingers, starting from the pinky and the thumb, then to the next two fingers, and to the last, sliding all the way for a full stretch into the fingers. Turning the hand back around and squeezing the full hand together, pulling out blood and energy before you shake the arm. Now place the hand by the ear. Hold on to the elbow with the one hand as you massage down the inside of the arm with the other hand. Coming back up, changing the hand, and moving the other hand down the outside, all the way down to the chest and coming back up. And then massaging the forearm. Shaking the hand and place it onto the mat. Move around the body, keep in touch, and prepare yourself for the next arm. Open the arm to create full length by placing one hand on the shoulder and the other on the hand. Massage the arm by palm pressing. And getting ready for the 10-point crab walk, starting with your one thumb close to the hand, placing the others, moving the first to the second, and so on. 3, 4, shaking the arm, placing it down along the body, giving a stretch into the arm before you start to palm press. Starting the 10 points from the temple point and moving up a straight line all the way to the shoulder. And palm press. Sitting back into your tailor's position, readjusting the shoulders, open the palm and dig 2 fingers in with the one hand and with the other hand, and start to slide from the root of the fingers toward the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing your thumbs on the first point for the first 2 fingers, moving to the second and to the third. Coming back, first 2 points for the next 2 fingers, second and third. Coming back, first point, thumb on thumb for the last, second and third. And again, sliding tortoise finger. Opening the palm before you turn it over. Placing thumb on the temple point and circle down along the bone to the pinky and the thumb. Coming back, thumb on temple and circle for the next 2 fingers. Thumb on thumb and circling down for the last finger. Now placing your thumbs on the inside of the palm at the very root of the fingers and then stretching all the way through, starting with the pinky and the thumb. Coming back and sliding all the way from the next 2 fingers. Coming back to slide all the way through for the last finger. Turning the palm over, squeezing the palm together for massage, and pulling blood and energy out. Shaking the arm lightly before you place the hand by the ear, one hand on the elbow and the other massages down the upper arm. Coming back, changing the hands, massaging down the outside of the upper arm. And then the forearm. Shake the arm and prepare to turn over the client, so open the one hand up above the head, pull the leg across the midline so it enables the client to fall over easy. Pull the foot so they lightly turn to their stomach. Adjust their legs, turning around, standing on your toes, and slowly work your feet to their feet. Turn around again, kneel down, sit in between their legs, lift them light so they open till where they naturally fall, and bend the heels to the butt. 1, 2, and 3 times very lightly. Cross the one leg in and place your hand on that back thigh, placing the foot to the heel. 1, 2, 3 as you move your hand down the thigh. Stepping out to the side of the body, holding on to the foot and lifting very lightly. 1, 2, and 3. This stretches the front side of the quads. Coming back, changing legs, bending in. 1, 2, and 3. Stepping to the side of their body, holding on to the foot and lifting very lightly. 1, 2, and 3 times. And again, stepping back, opening up the legs. And kneeling in. Now you choose one side. Hold your hand below the kneecap. Open up the arm so you have space for your leg to slide all the way in. Place the foot and start with your forearm to massage the lower back. On the one side of the spine, you move all the way up the back and back down again. rolling in the area of the butt, using more of your elbow to go deep and specific. Place the elbow in the very center and circle a bit for movements. Keeping that elbow on the spot, and start to roll with the other forearm down the thigh, the calf, and coming back. Bringing both your palms together to chop up along the spine. Make sure that you're not chopping on the kidney area, chopping the butt and down the thigh, the calf. And again come out exactly the same way as you came in. Making space for the arm to slide into the other side. Hand below the knee, foot up and sliding in. With your forearm, start to massage the lower back and moving up along the other side of the spine. Coming all the way up and back down. Rolling down the butt and using here the elbow a bit more for more specific points. Place the elbow in the center and circle a bit for movement. Keeping that arm and starting to roll down the leg with the other arm all the way down and back up. And then chop the full other side of the body, up the back and down the leg. And again, come out exactly the same way as you came in. Shake the legs a tiny bit and open them. Stepping in, placing your feet on either side of the hip and sit on their feet. Sit very lightly and start to palm press up along their spine. Placing your palms on either side of the spine, palm pressing all the way up. Going slow with body weight. Less pressure on the lower back as there is nothing in front to protect. Coming back to the lower back and starting with spider walk 10 points. The first point, the very root of the spine, with your thumbs, finding the next spot with your index and going in with the thumbs. Finding the next spot with the index fingers and going in with the thumbs. All pressure is added on with their exhalation. Inhale, you release, and exhale, going in. 10 points up along the spine. After the 10th point, you can return to palm press. So place the arms on your thighs inside so you can grab below the shoulders and pull them back up. Go very lightly here. It's not about pulling them back. It's more about opening the chest. We call it the cobra. 1, 2, and 3. So watch that you're not pulling too much. It's all about opening the chest and not bending the lower back. 1, 2, 3. Shaking a bit before you gently move out of the position, placing your knees on their butt. And again grabbing the arms outer rotate the shoulders and pulling them back in a variation of the cobra. And going here again very, very lightly. So it's all about creating space around the chest and not pulling back into the lower back. 1, 2, and 3. And again, palm press or shake the lower back. Palm pressing down the legs, adjusting the legs from pulling the thighs in and up. Now stepping to one side of the body, the side where she is not looking, and sit in either farmer's position or diamond position. Starting with the root of your hand to massage down along the one side of the spine. Starting from the root of the spine with 10-point crab walk. One thumb and the other takes over all the way up along the side of the body. And palm press back down again, shaking her body, moving to the other side, sitting in the position that you prefer, moving her head to the opposite direction and palm pressing down the other side of the spine, starting from the neck area. And then again, 10-point crab walk up along the other side of the spine. And palm press. Now placing your one hand on the butt and the other on the opposite shoulders to stretch across the body, diagonally across the body, creating a full length of the back side of the body. 1, 2, 3, changing the hand's position to the other shoulder and other butt, and again circling a bit before you open up for full length of the back side of the body. 1, 2, and 3. Then placing your hand on the spine, crossing your own hands and lean in to open up 3 times to create length between each vertebra in the lower back. Grabbing the arm and place it above the head, getting ready to turn the client over. Moving the foot so it's not blocking, pulling the leg and turning her over slowly. Then lifting both her legs up and bend them in, placing them below your knees in a tailor's position, grabbing on to their arms and lifting up very gently. 1, 2, and 3 times. Third time you step back and place them in a seated position. stepping to the back of their body and shaking their shoulders and adding a very, very light pressure onto the shoulders before you start to palm press the shoulders, and giving the 3 points. First point starting from where the shoulder and the neck meet. 1. Halfway out toward the shoulder. 2. And 3. Onto the shoulder. Palm press. Grabbing their arms and placing them in the front of themselves. Some might fall all the way down. Some might stay a bit up. And then palm press down the back. Placing your thumbs on the first point, on the very root of the spine, going in. 1, 2, moving with the style of the spider walk. We can go 10 points as we did earlier, or if you feel like, you can add as many points as you want. After the 10th point, I return to the palm press. Before I lift the client into the seated position again. Now grab onto the right arm, place it behind their back, and catch the hand with your knee before with your right hand catch the shoulders, and other hand massage around the shoulder blade. Then placing your thumb on the first point, pressing in and lifting the shoulder back into that point, dropping your thumb to the second point, to the third point, pulling the shoulder into the point, coming back, pulling the shoulder back, and 1. Massage for relaxation. Before you take their arm all the way around, you sit in your diamond position holding their forearm, the hand, elbow between the spine and the shoulder blade, and here you pull up and back. 1, 2, 3 times. Now coming into a knight's position, grabbing around their forehead, taking a hold on the shoulder, massaging the shoulder, the forearm, and dropping the hand. Now taking the other hand to behind their back, catching it with your knee, holding the shoulder, massaging down the shoulder blade before you place your thumb on the first point. Take it in and pull the shoulder into that point. 1, 2, point number 3, back to 2, and 1. Massage for relaxation. And then take the arm all the way around. Sit in your diamond's position, holding one arm in the forearm and the other the hand. Use elbow between the shoulder blade and the spine, lifting up and back. Now grabbing around their forehead, holding on to the elbow, and the other hand massages down the outside of the arm and holding the shoulders, massaging the shoulder, and coming back. dropping the arm and shaking the shoulders a tiny bit. Now you sit back, bring the hands with you, place your feet just below the shoulder blades, gently press them forward, outer rotate their arms and very gently pull them back 3 times. Make sure that the client will not lean back, so just push them a tiny bit forward before you start pulling back. 1, 2, 3. Then place the arms in front of them and palm press and massage the full back. Hold their neck and guide them to lie on their back. You can open up their legs here and then sit behind their head. Adjust the body, the shoulders, the neck, and then turn the head, holding their ears in your left palm, and your right hand stretches out on that shoulder. Massaging from the shoulder all the way around to the skull. The first line is below the center, second is the center line all the way to the skull, and third line is above. Circling, massaging, stretching all the way to the ear. Turning the head the other direction, pulling very lightly and stretching with the opposite hand. 1, 2, and 3. Massaging from the shoulders. The first line is below, all the way around, following the neck to the skull. Coming back to the center line, massaging from the shoulder, all the way following the neck and again to the skull. Third line is above and following the neck, ending close to the ear. Bringing back the head to a straight line and giving one pressure point onto the shoulders where the neck and the shoulders meet. Creating a waving movement below the neck, lifting up, pulling a bit toward yourself for creating length between the vertebrae in the neck, moving and shifting pattern, but working the muscles of the neck. Then you turn the head to one side and massage the line of the skull. And doing the same on the other side. Now massaging the head. Very strongly with your fingertips, covering the full head, the back side, and slowly moving to the top. And from here, I'm gonna place my thumbs thumb on thumb on the forehead, close to where the hair grows. Sliding out quite tightly, circling on the temples. Coming back, placing your thumbs, thumb on thumb, at the center of the forehead and sliding out to the temples, circling a bit. Coming back, placing your thumbs between the eyebrows, sliding out to the temples and circle. Placing your index below the eyebrows, your thumb above, massaging the eyebrows. One, 2, and 3 times. Placing your thumbs very gently on top of the eyelids and circle them clockwise. Adding a little pressure before you move your thumbs to the nose and slide out to below the cheek. Placing your thumbs above the upper lip, below the nose, sliding out, massaging between the chin and the lower lip, sliding out, massaging. Coming to the ears, massaging and pulling very lightly the ears in all directions. Now pulling energy up and out for openness. One time from the arms, from the body, and from the front. Energy up and out for openness and expansion. Moving to the one side of the body, placing your hand on the chest and below the navel, and sit for a little while focused on energy work. Sit below their feet, open them lightly, place your hands, your thumbs for grounding. Letting go of the body, and ask the client to rest and center for a minute or two. Place your hands in front of your chest and center yourself.